Hello, hello. It's been 7 days since the arrival of Jingliu, and I thought it'd be a good time to finally bring you all an updated video on whether or not you should pull Jingliu or save for Seal and Topaz. Specifically Topaz because Seal has already had her banner in the beginning of the game. Let's hop right into the video. Now, first of all, Jingliu is a character that is right now the current, arguably strongest damage dealer in the game. The reason being is because she has a lot of crit value baked into her kit, making her a much easier character to build than most characters in the game. As you can see my build right here, I only have 35% crit rate and 215 crit damage, but the low crit rate means I can get some from her kit, which means I don't have to have as much crit rate, and I can put on a crit damage circlet and still be comfortable with my crit ratio. And you don't have to use speed boots in your relics, because if you are using a character like Bronya, she will push you up anyways, and you can just put on attack boots for more damage. Now, Jingliu does have very nice free-to-play options in the light cones. I'm currently using a Secret Vow, which is solid on the character. You are missing half of the passive damage, which is a 25, or depending on the level of refinements on your a Secret Vow, higher damage bonus given to the character when she has lower HP than the enemy. If you are using her in harder contents, maybe this will be a valuable light cone, but it is a nice light cone nonetheless because you still do get a very solid damage boost for the character that has no restrictions on it. Jingliu gets courier for free whenever she has stacks of Syzygy. This allows her to have lower crit ratios on your account. One thing to also take into consideration is that this is very easy to get. You will get the crit rate before you get the bulk or most of the damage from the character. So this is a very nice addition to her feeling somewhat complete kit. So she has solid free-to-play options, and she has a very nice kit, allowing her to get crit rate for free. She has speed traces, which is very unique to the character. That means even if you don't want to use her Bronya, you can give her a pair of speed boots, and you'll have around 134, 135 speed. That's very nice because that means you'll have the speed threshold you need to make sure that she takes turns constantly in the battles. At E0, she feels like a complete character. I never really thought I needed to pull for copies of her because she really does hit that hard at E0. You can use Genius of Brilliant Stars, which you probably have been farming on your account for a while. It is currently the most versatile DPS set in the game, but for Jingliu especially, it works really well because of the characters you'll probably use her with. If you use her with Pela, the defense shred you get from Genius of Brilliant Stars is going to scale really well with the further defense shred that Pela provides. This allows you to utilize all of Pela's kit. Pela is pretty much the best supporter alongside Jingliu, because not only does she lower the defenses of the enemy in an AoE setting, which Jingliu is in an AoE hitting character, she also does provide ice resist reduction with her Eidolon 4, which further damage increases the damage capabilities of Jingliu. And if you have Eagle Twilight Line on your Pela, which allows her to take turns more consistently, and you have Silverwolf's Event Light Cone, you're going to get your ult really fast. So fast to the point where Jingliu is always going to have defense down on the enemy, making great use of the Genius of Brilliant Stars set and the defense shred Pela provides, dealing massive AoE damage 24/7. And the best thing about Pela is that you'll be getting her for free in this patch. So if you are a new player, you arguably have the best combination you can get as a new player in this game. I think that's amazing, and I recommend Jingliu for a new player or someone that does not have a second damage dealer if that's where you are with your account. When it comes to team comps, she's pretty flexible. You can use all sorts of team comps with Jingliu. This is one of the fun team comps you can use because Pela provides defense shred with AoE. That means you can use Jingliu, and a character like Herla will come in and do a follow-up attack on the enemies, and if the enemies are already weak to ice, you're going to get a ton of freeze on the enemy, and you're going to deal a large amount of damage. And Jetpack provides shields to the whole team. The shields he provide are very, very strong. And if you take into consideration Jingliu drains HP, well, the shield he provides to the team acts as an HP bar on top of the HP bar you already have. So with the HP drain she takes away from your team, it doesn't really matter in the first place. This team right here, well, Bailu provides tons of damage mitigation and healing to the team. So all of the HP drain Jingliu takes from your allies, well, Bailu can make up for that with her AoE healing. And Bronya is a very solid character to have with every damage deal in the game, but that is just Bronya being the most broken character right now. Another unique team you can use is featuring Arlen, and I never thought I would ever say this character has finally found his team comp. You put him in a team with Jingliu, Jingliu will drain his HP, and he will meet that lower HP threshold more quickly, thus allowing him to do the most damage he can do very, very quickly. His damage is going to ramp up very fast. So this is a very solid team because you have two characters that synergize really well, and both of them take advantage of Pela's AoE defense shred. And Jetport is a character that works really well with Arlen because all Arlen needs is a shield, which Jingliu also needs is a shield too. And last but not least, if your damage dealer can take advantage of Silverwolf, why not? Because Silverwolf is the best offensive debuffing support in the game. Pela is a nice character to use alongside Jingliu, but Silverwolf is up there as well. So the amount of team comp she has is very, very nice. This is a character you can use with many characters on your account. You pretty much have many options. You can use Arlen. If you don't want to use Arlen, then you can use characters that enable the hypercarry team composition. You can use Blade, for instance, too, if you have them on your account. These two have very nice synergy with one another because Blade wants his HP to be drained just like Arlen. The unfortunate truth is that Blade is a character I don't have on any of my accounts. So if I did have them, that would be more incentive to pull for Jingliu. And she is a massive upgrade if you've been using Yanqing. So if you are looking for an ice damage dealer, then look no further than Jingliu, who doesn't have the cons of being a damage dealer like Yanqing, who has a lot of RNG in his kit and is single target. Jingliu outperforming this character in both single target and AoE. Lore-wise, it does make sense because she is pretty much a motherly figure to Yanqing, but it is kind of tough love if you think about it. So if any of those things checks your boxes, then I really do recommend a character like Jingliu, because we're probably not going to have another damage dealer on this level for a very, very long time. I could be wrong with the pace that Honkai Star Rail is taking with damage dealers, but that is a whole entirely different subject. Asta is a character that's going to perform really well with Topaz. Now, she can also work well with Jingliu, surprisingly, and that's thanks to the speed she provides to the team. So you can put attack boots on your Jingliu, and the speed that Asta gives makes up for the fact that you have attack boots on her. But for Topaz specifically, this is a game changer because Asta increases the speed of the whole team, Topaz included, and buffs the damage in a crazy amount in terms of fire damage boost to the team and an attack boost for Topaz, who has a lower attack. Now, I know with every Topaz video, I always bring up Asta, and I am saying this because she is the best supporter for the character. In team settings with Topaz, she excels really well, and even in hypercarry teams, she excels especially well. This is the character you always want to bring with Topaz, because their synergy is unmatched. So just like Pela being given for free for Jingliu players, Asta you get for free in the beginning of the game, so you already have a very nice character to use alongside your Topaz. If you lucked out and pulled a Clara in your account, you're going to have a very nice synergy between the two characters, because Clara counterattacking the enemy means that Jingliu and Numbi are going to do much more damage, because they will have their action forward not only by Asta providing much more needed speed for Topaz, and Clara being able to push up the action forward of Numbi. That's a lot of damage already with just these three characters alone. And if you bring Lynx into the equation as a sustained character or defensive option for the team, well, Clara is going to be attacking the enemy with counterattacks more reliably, and that means more damage for your Topaz. So if you think about it, that team is going to be one of her best teams at the start of her release. Now, just like all of the hunt damage dealers, the thing is about Topaz, you want to use her in mostly single target scenarios, because that's where all of these characters excel well, Seal being the exception to the rule because she has pseudo AoE and lots of packed damage baked into her kit. Now, this is especially true because the Fire Weakness Break has one of the strongest weakness break damages. It is a high number if you land that weakness break on the enemy. Now, these are some characters that will make for some very interesting synergy with Topaz. Now, you don't have to use all of these characters in a specific team comp, but Asta being the best supporter alongside the character, Clara being a very nice offensive character to use alongside Topaz, Erda being a very solid AoE damage dealer if the enemy is already weak to ice. Even if the enemy is not weak to ice, you're going to be dealing a lot of follow-up attack damage with her, and you will be pushing up the action forward of Numbi. It may not be consistent like Clara, but it is going to be cool nonetheless to push up Numbi right away when Herta does her Kuru. And then March 7th has a counterattack built into her kit. So whenever she does hit the enemy back, you're going to push up the action forward of Numbi if that enemy has the debuff placed from Topaz. But since she is a single target damage dealer, you can use characters like Silverwolf, who works well with every single target damage dealer in the game, Topaz is not going to be an exception. And then Bronya being nice with every damage deal in the game currently. Asta working really well, as mentioned before, and Ting Yun provided much needed energy to Topaz to make sure that Numbi always has his enhanced follow-up attacks. That will greatly increase the damage of Numbi, and don't forget she does give attack, damage boost, and even speed to that ally. So the best thing about Topaz is if you already have some of those nice supporters, you're going to like her personal damage if you use them with her. She is a single target damage dealer first and foremost, so you want to bring her into scenarios if you are planning to use her as a hyper carry. And you can't go wrong with that because she is a limited character, and as of right now, no limited character has been bad, especially damage dealers. As for Lycones, if you have some general hunt Lycones like the Dead, well, you're going to give a crit damage boost to Topaz and a crit rate increase, which may or may not synergize well with the character. The crit damage is the most important part, and the fact that it is a 5-star Lycone means that you have high base stats. This is all the character really needs, honestly. But if you don't have 5-star Lycones, even Swords Play, which arguably may be the best option for the character for free-to-play at Refinement 5, is going to give a nice damage boost to the character. And considering that Topaz and Numbi is multi-hits, Numbi specifically, you're going to stack the Lycone rather quickly. And if you are just hitting the enemy constantly, because she is a single target damage dealer, then the damage is going to get out of control. So much like Jingliu, she is a free-to-play friendly character. You have a character you get for free in the game, and you have options in the form of Lycones that will be a game changer if you have some of them at high refinements even. Take into consideration, just like all the other single target damage dealers in the game, you can use some of the best supporters. Silverwolf is a staple in most team comps in the game. If you can use her, why not use her? And even characters like Bronya, who will probably find value of Topaz, and even in the team comp of Clara especially. We'll have to wait for the release of this character and do some testing before we give the final results of that team composition. And well, the thing is about Topaz, we are missing a follow-up support character in terms of defensive options, and we are missing a dedicated relic set for follow-up attackers in general. So once she does receive those two things, she's going to be an interchangeable, very strong, undisputably broken character, because she is a character that can be played skill point positive. But if I had to choose between Topaz and Jingliu, as a new player, I'm going to go with Jingliu. You have everything in the game already you need for the character, and she is the best option for free-to-play right now as it stands. I still am a firm believer in Monoquantum. That's why I am making many Monoquantum videos, and I'm looking forward to the Harmony character of the Quantum Element. But the truth is, the best team right now is Jingliu in a hyper carry scenario, because it is the best damage, and you have everything you already need. I don't think there could be anything to release that will make Jingliu and her teams better, because she already is complete. That's the video here. Thank you for watching, and have a nice rest of your day. Peace.